Riding high atop the World of Outlaw standings is Mark Kinzer. In third place is Cousin Steve. The meat in this Kinzer sandwich is Danny the Dude Lasowski. He's a steady veteran grinding through this war of attrition. Like last year, in position to strike.
We were consistent last year in the first part of the year winning races, and then we did fall apart. I think this year we've pinpointed the problem. I think we got it fixed, and we're ready to make a run for that championship.
Tonight, we'll see if the Dude's run stays on track. They have trucked in 15,000 cubic yards of dirt to transform America's fastest half-mile asphalt track into America's fastest half-mile dirt track. And the fans are here this evening. The Bristol Motor Speedway is ready. The Pennzoil World of Outlaws set to present the Channel Lock Challenge, all right here on TNN Sports. Hi, everybody. Welcome to Bristol Motor Speedway. Eli Gold, along with Hall of Famer Brad Doty. Glad you're able to join us here this evening. You know, we talked at the opening of the show about Danny Lasowski. How's this for consistency? Among 3 sanctioning bodies this year, he's already posted 7 wins on 2 continents. Not bad.
Not bad at all. He's raced in Australia, winning races all over the place. Very, very consistent, really putting it together this year, Eli.
Now take a look at the point standings for the Pennzoil World of Outlaws. You'll see that Mark Kinzer has the point lead because of his 7 victories. Lasowski, with only 2 wins in Pennzoil World of Outlaw competition, is there right behind him because of all of those top 5s and 18 top 10 finishes. The interesting question, though, about Lasowski, Brad, is he started this way last year, and then the wheels kind of came off the wagon. Why not that way this year?
Well, he said they pinpointed a problem. I think the problem is that they're just having good luck, or not having the bad luck that they had last year, and having a really good year.
Now, you know what's nice for both of us, folks? We don't have to talk about rain this evening. It seems every time we're together, we're talking about rain here on TNN. Partly cloudy skies, temperature 72 degrees. It is a great night for racing. Down on the track right now, the associated editor of Open Wheel magazine, Dave Argabright, is standing by. And though, Dave, we're set to race tonight, all of this rain has got to be frustrating the guys over the last few weeks, huh?
Well, it has been a grind, Eli. Since May the 11th, the World of Outlaws has raced in Indiana, Illinois, Pennsylvania, Maryland, North Carolina, New York, back to Pennsylvania, Ohio, back to Illinois, back to Pennsylvania, and now here in Tennessee. Almost 5,000 miles over the road, and during that stretch they've lost at least 3 races completely to rain. It's very frustrating because when it rains and they don't race, the car makes no money. After this stretch here, these guys are tired.
It's just frustrating altogether. We've been driving all over the country and haven't got any races in. And
everybody gets a little bit irritable when you don't get to racing.
I don't think you can find a team in here that's not aggravated right now.
You do get a little bit of time off, but it's not the time that you want, you know.
You want to break sometimes, but a break is like sit in one spot, not drive 12 hours one way and 12 hours back the other way and 12 hours back down here. And
it don't leave you no time to sleep, you know.
I mean, we're just spending money and, you know, nothing's coming in at all.
I just bought a new motorhome, and I guess I haven't raced there the last 2 nights, and that hurt my payments.
And if we don't race, I don't make money. And the banks, you know, they don't care. They still want their money monthly, so it makes it tough.
You know, racers have a knack of turning adversity into opportunity. So as we come here to Bristol, the biggest, fastest, baddest, meanest track of the whole schedule, look for a level of intensity that we haven't yet seen this year with the World of Outlaws. Eli?
What I found interesting, though, today on the radar gun, Brad, you talk about intensity. These cars are going 168 miles an hour entering the corners. Do you need any extra intensity with those kind of conditions?
And that's on dirt, folks, too. But absolutely, these guys better leave their frustrations in the pits. When they climb these race cars, they better have their heads screwed on straight and forget about it and focus on what they have to do.
Now, we're about to go racing, so you know what time it is now. It's time for me to explain to you exactly how tonight's Channel Lock Challenge will unfold. The way to win the Channel Lock Challenge here at Bristol is to earn your way into the feature race, the A-Main. 38 teams are on hand. They qualified earlier this evening. The field is then broken up into 4 heats. The top 5 finishers in each heat automatically advance into the A-Main. Then the 4 heat winners and the next 6 based on qualifying speeds move into the Channel Lock Dash. The finishing order of the Dash establishes the top 10 starters for the A-Main. Then everybody else goes into feature races based on qualifying speeds. Do well, and you too will advance to the A-Main here at Bristol. So that's how it's going to work this evening. Now let's take a look at the first of the O'Reilly Auto Part heat races, and you see who's in this field, including obviously the local favorite Sammy Swindell. His speeds here, folks, 13.86 seconds, 138 miles an hour. That is 1.5 seconds faster than the quickest NASCAR Winston Cup car when Steve Park set that track record here.
Well, and Sammy's known for a high-speed race car driver. He's always done well on the mile tracks, he loves the high speeds, and very, very comfortable, and he knows how to get that race car comfortable.
Brad, by 30, nearly 40 miles an hour, this is the fastest track on the circuit now.
Well, as we said in the opener, 168 miles per hour going into the corners. I mean, it'll make the veterans and the best of them even think about these speeds. Generally in a sprint car, you can't feel the speeds, but here you can. You know how fast you're going.
Now, granted, we're looking at only 8 laps here in the heats, and tonight's A-Main is only 20, but as we ride with Donnie Schatz now through turns 1 and 2, 33 degrees of banking there in the corners. Will these drivers feel the strain on their necks in these short of events or not?
Oh, absolutely. But this late in the season, they're pretty well fit. You know, the fatigue factor won't be as high as if this race was earlier in the season, but they definitely will feel it.
So we get set to go. The first of our O'Reilly heat races, 8 laps. Green flag is in the air. Big jump for Chesson on the start.
Yeah, it looked like Herrera's motor stumbled or something there. He got a terrible start. That was in the red number 6. Herrera, the pole sitter, just didn't take off.
Picking up some dirt here early at the Bristol Motor Speedway. Blaney in that silver number 10 trying the outside. There's Sammy Swindell in the Channel Lock colors. He's down by 0.6 of a second to the race leader, Chesson. That right there is the battle for 4th. And there is Sammy Swindell, the class of the Bristol field last year, setting fast time both nights here at Bristol.
Well, again, you know, the high-speed places, Eli, he just really feels good. Although he's running second right now to Chesson there, he's just feeling this race car out. He knows it's just a heat race. He's dialing that thing in mentally for the main event.
Bennett, Chesson, everybody jostling for position. There goes Schatz trying to challenge Blaney. Heading over to turn number 3.
We had a nice run off of turn 2. He come down off the banking and got a run on Blaney, but Blaney was able to hold him off. Let's see if he tries that again. Schatz. Oh, we got a car stopped.
And that's going to be the red 3B. That's Bob Bennett out of Lewisburg, Pennsylvania. The Gambler McKinney that brings out the caution. So caution is on the speedway for the first time in the 36th night of racing ever for the World of Outlaws here in the state of Tennessee. The Pennzoil World of Outlaws first raced here in the Volunteer State back in 1979 in Jackson, Tennessee. They've been in Milan, they've been in Crossville, of course the Memphis Motorsports Park. And there you see the heat leader thus far, the 22 of James Chesson out of Far Hills, New Jersey. If you're curious, Steve Kinzer and Sammy Swindell both own 10 victories here in the state of Tennessee. By the way, Brad, I know things went very well for you at the Hall of Fame induction the other evening, but I've heard from so many folks who were there. Tell us a little bit about it.
Oh, just a great day. I mean, it was a short night after Lernerville in that flight out to Knoxville, but again, with the Martin family and Gary, my good friend Gary Stanton going in, and of course Dave Brown, Jack Miller, the announcer at Knoxville, and everybody else that was there. Just, it really hit me and really sunk in just being there and being involved with that many good drivers and people. So
very, very deserving. And matter of fact, I had spent Tuesday, as I mentioned to you earlier, with Jeff Gordon, the NASCAR Winston Cup star, and he was so very proud of you. So congratulations again. Quite a special honor for you. There's Bob Bennett. He made the 800-mile pull from Charlotte to Lebanon Valley, New York, part of that grind that Dave Argabright was telling us about earlier.
Oh boy, and it has been, especially, I mean, it's a grind when you're racing, but when it rains out and you're just sitting around in the rain, and you get really fed up with everybody, and tempers are really short right now.
So the field getting the indication he'll go back to green in one more lap. There's Chesson and Swindell first and second, riding with Donnie Schatz, who finished second in the preliminary A here a year ago, and then led 12 laps of the A main the second night before the engine went bye-bye.
Yeah, Schatz, another guy, for a young guy that seems to like the high-speed places. The faster, the better for him.
Coming to the restart. There again, Blaney trying to cover the inside.
Did a nice job. He covered the inside, but then moved up just enough in the middle of the corner to keep Schatz. Boy, look at this. Here comes Herrera. He's got a little bit of a run on Sammy. Herrera almost winning Eldora last weekend. Led it for like 31 out of 35 laps, and Andy Hillenberg getting by for the win.
Right, Andy picked up the victory there.
Talking to James Chesson, our leader there earlier, running adjustable Penske shocks on that car, and a lot of these guys are going to in the cockpit adjustable shocks on these race cars.
White flag is going to be displayed now, and now to the checkered flag as the field gets set to come to the stripe. Chesson will advance to the A. So will Sammy Swindell, Herrera, and Blaney. They will advance in. Finishing fifth will be Donnie Schatz, but a solid run here for young James Chesson and the Gus and Bucky's Car Wash Automotive Tire Service. So a very easy first heat this time around for Sammy Swindell. It's a good bit of a change from what he went through in the first heat a year ago. Last year's Channel Lock Challenge here at Bristol dominated by Tennessee's own Sammy Swindell, but boy was there controversy. Sammy was quick all weekend long, started his heat on the front row, but they said that he jumped the start, and as a result, as the field was forced to reform for yet another start, the World of Outlaw officials signaled Sammy, get back one more row and start from row number 2. Well, when the green flew, it really didn't slow Swindell down at all, though it was still getting at his craw that he had to come from behind. He passed Craig Delansky for the lead. And when the heat was done and Sammy was a winner, he made sure that official got a close-up look at the Channel Lock car. Sammy Swindell was not a happy man. The Bristol race for him last year, full of controversy, and the fans obviously siding with their Tennessee favorite.
If the officials want to be consistently bad, that's fine. If they want to be consistently good, but you know, it's just like the NBA Finals. You need to have somebody make the same calls every week, or during the whole event, and we don't have that.
Well, Sammy was smiling later in the evening. A-main time, he passes Steve Kinzer for the lead, and there's the victory lap. A year ago, with sun on hand, Sammy was a winner here at Bristol. So that was a year ago. Tonight, Sammy just going up to the front of the transporter, content with a solid second-place run for the moment. No tempers overflowing. There you see those who advanced out of heat number 1, and the top runners. The O'Reilly heat number 2 comes your way next.
Movies of all time on TNN. Star Trek: The Motion Picture. This is David from Scottsdale. Watch Star Trek: The Motion Picture Monday, June 18th at 11.
The same passion and dedication that drive our racing programs also drive the way we create parts for high-performance vehicles and high-performing vehicles. Like yours. Mopar. Great parts for great vehicles on the track and in your driveway. That's the Mopar difference.
When you're a big-time racer, it's just fame, fortune, and fans. Pretty cool. Just like a new Luxair home comfort system. Top quality equipment that's backed by reliable service professionals. Designed to deliver high-efficiency performance for comfort and big-time savings for you. Call 1-800-LUXAIR for the dealer near you. Luxair, setting the performance standard.
Trucks. Tougher than any panty-waist car. Hey, no one ever wrote a song about his first hatchback. The only thing better than trucks is racing trucks. So we're the official tools of the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series. Craftsman. Make a Craftsman purchase, receive a game piece, and you could win a NASCAR Fantastic Fan Garage. Loaded with everything from a Samsung HD TV to cool Craftsman stuff.
When you need a grip on life's little challenges, get a grip on Channel Lock.
What are you doing? Look, who are you guys? You got the wrong guy.
Think this is harsh? Well, it's what you do to your car every day. All that stop-and-go driving is torture on your engine. But Pennzoil with Pure Base is formulated to protect against the harshness of all that stopping and starting. Stop-and-go protection from Pennzoil. For protection under heavier loads, try Pennzoil Synthetic Blend.
TNN Sports coverage of the Channel Lock Challenge at Bristol is being brought to you by Mopar. Parts for Chrysler, Plymouth, Dodge, and Jeep vehicles from the dealerships that sell and install them. And by Luxair, setting the performance standard in heating and air conditioning. Welcome back. There's a look at the Bristol Motor Speedway as the crew busily put down those 15,000 cubic yards of dirt. Let's take the story a little bit further. Earlier, Bobby Gerald did this investigation.
Well, last year, of course, was the first year that the World of Outlaws raced here at Bristol as a dirt track. It went well, but they had a few things that they wanted to try to make just even a little bit better. Let's show you what they've done now to the racetrack. They filled in dirt down here on the low portion so that you can stick a screwdriver well down into the racetrack. It's about that deep with dirt, even deeper. When you go up to the high side of the racetrack, though, things change. Up here, as you can see, it's not quite as deep. Only about that deep with the dirt. Now, what does that all mean? Well, it really means that these cars are going to be able to get around here a little bit more smoothly. There'll be a little bit more margin for error for the guys when they're entering a turn, because when you're exiting the turn, it's blind.
Now, all of that adds up to the fact that in some areas the track only has 4 inches of dirt on it, some areas 4 feet of dirt. But why does this affect the visibility, the blind spots, and so on?
Well, what Bobby meant there about being blind coming off the corner with the wing on the top of the car, the way it overhangs the cockpit of the car. Last year, the banking was so high that when they got in the middle of the corner, the wing blocked their view so they couldn't see exiting the corners. Now they can. There's less banking. They built the inside up. That helps them see from the middle of the corner off.
So that's just some of what the dirt is like here. And if you're curious, there you see the grandstands. Then liken that to the wall right there. You can see where the dirt has been built up some. And then on the back straightaway area, on a similar NASCAR Winston Cup sign, and also on the main straightaway, you'll see right there where it's about halfway up the wall. So the depth does vary from one aspect of the racetrack to another to make it a good run for the drivers. Now O'Reilly heat number 2. There you see it. Steve Kinzer's in the field, Darren Pittman, Myers and Paulus. A lot of good runners right there. You saw second-generation driver Blake Weiss going right there from the pole.
Relatively unknown, more or less a local driver, but a pretty good driver, too. And he'll have his work cut out for him tonight. These high-speed the speeds are turning here. We'll see how he does in this heat race.
And by the way, Weiss in that 3M is using a Mopar engine that Teddy Mulligan got from Carl Kinzer. So if getting the rent an engine program is going to help you, that's probably the team you want to get it from.
If you're going to have to borrow or rent a motor, that's definitely the place to go.
We are set to go racing on turn number
Getting set to go, of course, Steve Kinzer right there, and that number 11, Joey Myers. Or excuse me, Jason Myers, I should say, right behind him. Joey Saldana also out there. There's Paulus near the back of the field in the 28, making the move inside of Myers. Pittman in that blue number 3. Saldana, now Kinzer. That's the challenge for third spot for Steve Kinzer.
See what Steve did there? He got a run on Pittman on the outside. He turned the car and tried to come down off the banking and get a run on him. We talked about the draft at Williams Grove, and at some of those places at 160 mile an hour, the draft really comes into play here.
Also keeping that engine wound up, keep that torque wound up on the high side of the racetrack to shoot you through the corners and down the straightaway. Any advantage you can get at 168 miles an hour going into the turns.
Well, these steep bankings, if they can get up there and turn the car and go down off, if you're running downhill, down the steep banking, you kind of get a run on the guy coming off the corners.
Now for the asphalt, the banking here is 36 degrees. On the dirt, it's been tapered to 33. That's still a handful.
Yeah, it still is, and that's that buildup of dirt on the inside of the racetrack where Bobby Gerald showed. A lot of dirt on the inside buildup and not much at the top.
Feast, Pittman, Saldana, Kinzer, and Paulus. That's the battle right there for fourth spot right now. Kinzer, who has won 2 finals and 2 preliminaries already here in the 2001 season.
People that saw our Williams Grove telecast when he got taken out on that first lap showed him so animated and so upset. It wasn't that he was actually mad at anybody in particular. He knows he's going for the point league championship, and you can't have nights like that, especially when it's somebody else's fault. It just really frustrates you.
He was just mad at the circumstances.
Exactly. Yep. Oh, he's getting a little squirrely there, but he's still holding on to the lead.
Checkered flag in the air. Feast with Pittman, Saldana, Kinzer, and Paulus. The top 5 right there. And there you see the...
That's the brakes, sparks coming off the brakes. I don't know why they'd be that hot. The car must have been tight. He must have been riding the brakes a lot through the corners trying to keep the car turned, but boy, they're really sparking. You notice it borrowed fuel tank from the U2 car. That possibly could be one of the bigger tanks, and this being such a big racetrack, they'll use a lot more fuel, so maybe they had to borrow the bigger fuel tank.
So by 0.2 of a second, that is going to be the winning margin right there as you see the results of heat number 2 here on the Channel Lock Challenge. We are coming right back. More from the Bristol Motor Speedway right after this.
Can't make it to Nashville for fanfare?
We'll bring fanfare to you.
All next week, CMT takes you there with daily fanfare updates from the freshest new music news show on television. CMT Most Wanted Live.
It's live.
Plus Celebrity Softball and the TNN CMT Country Weekly Award Show.
The stars. The concerts. All the behind-the-scenes stuff.
Anything could happen.
Fanfare Week, all next week.
Exclusively on CMT.
Who's your daddy?
What if you were as dull as your car? At Pep Boys, we think cars deserve a little excitement with an amazing selection of car and truck accessories. Now you can get that hot import look with the latest APC performance products. Because when it comes to making cars stand out, all you need to know is where to go. Pep Boys.
Apparently, some people don't know Dremel also makes cordless rotary tools. Dremel cordless rotary tools. This Father's Day, they're the perfect gift solution.
There's no better feeling than that of a job well done. And nothing helps you do the job better than America's #1 filter, Fram.
Trucks. Tougher than any panty-waist car. Hey, no one ever wrote a song about his first hatchback. The only thing better than trucks is racing trucks. So we're the official tools of the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series. Craftsman. Make a Craftsman purchase, receive a game piece, and you could win a NASCAR Fantastic Fan Garage. Loaded with everything from a Samsung HD TV to cool Craftsman stuff.
Where can you turn for 10 channels of great entertainment for only $10.99? Turn to Showtime Unlimited for Hollywood hits, award-winning original series, championship boxing. Don't miss a minute of the entertainment you want with Showtime Unlimited. Order Showtime Unlimited. 10 channels, only $10.99. Call now.
Finally, the deal you've been waiting for from Dish Network. Get a Dish 500 upgrade for free. That's right. Just sign up for the America's Top 150 programming package for 12 months and credit card autopay and get a free Dish 500 upgrade. America's Top 150 gives you the most movies, the most sports, and great family programming. So what are you waiting for? Sign up for some great programming and get a free Dish 500 upgrade. Call 1-800-333-DISH today.
Welcome back. A beautiful night for racing here at the Bristol Motor Speedway, covered by dirt for your viewing pleasure. Right now, let's go downstairs. Lisa Chalenza joining us on the telecast tonight with this interesting look.
Thanks, Eli. Well, we're in the booth where Christy Lasowski will be watching the race. And, of course, as we all know, Danny is having a great season. He's #2 in the overall point standings, making a phenomenal comeback from a disappointing finish last season. The dude is now Mr. Consistent on the track and savoring life off the track as well.
Danny enjoys time with his 3-year-old son, Landon, his wife of 4 years, Chris, and his adopted teenage daughter, Hope. As great as this looks, just 7 years ago, Danny was diagnosed with testicular cancer, and his future was uncertain.
It's like, oh my God, I could be here today and gone in a very, very short time. Actually, it was the first time in my life I've been scared to death of one certain thing, because I'm not scared of anything or anybody until they said that, hey, you can be gone, just like that.
During the whole ordeal, Danny only missed a few weeks of racing. After surgery and treatment of the cancer, it went into remission, and the experience has given him a new outlook on life.
It really gave me a reality check, because before that, I was living day to day just as wide open as I could be. And when someone tells you may have 6 months to go, you take back and take a big look at the big picture. And now that we're in remission, everything's looking pretty good. You want to live life to its fullest and enjoy every day instead of just living it wide open. That's what we're doing.
With his victory over cancer, Danny returns his focus to racing.
No, I wouldn't have any other way. This is a great life. The Pennzoil World of Outlaws has been great to me. There's no way I could be sitting here in a motorhome or doing something I truly love to do without them. So I know sometimes we grumble a little bit about the schedule, but it's a great life.
Danny just finished building a brand new shop with Tony Stewart, and tomorrow he and his wife Chris will be celebrating their 5th wedding anniversary. If you see them, say congratulations.
All right, Lisa, thank you. There's Chris and the family, and Brad is going to be going over there shortly to sing happy anniversary to them.
I don't think so.
You don't think so?
That's your job.
I don't know, not the way I sing. Couple of changes in this starting grid. We'll tell you that P.J. Chesson is going to be a scratch as we take a look at the drivers who'll be going to the green. We've got cameras on board with Mark Kinzer and Jeff Shepard, or excuse me, with Kinzer and Tim Schaefer, I am told now. And there you see only one driver in row number 5 as P.J. Chesson is going to be a scratch. Let's take the start with Kinzer. And around him goes Shepard. So Shepard takes the lead. Mark Kinzer going second. Others continuing to climb up the banking. That was Hillenberg in that black number 2 going up the high side of the racetrack.
Yeah, the car looks a little tight right there. It means it doesn't want to turn on him, doesn't want to slip the back in a little bit, getting in, and Paul McMahon in the U2 was able to dive to the bottom and pass him.
That white car, that's Danny Lasowski there in the middle, as you see the family watching from one of the luxury suites here at the Bristol Motor Speedway.
It's Landon there, this is their son, looking on.
McMahon is in that blue U2 behind Lasowski. They're battling for 4th and 5th. There's the dude. His only win in Tennessee for Lasowski came in Memphis in 1993 as one car. That's the 0 of Billy Wilburn, who continues, unfortunately, to have problems here on TNN. He has run 15 sprint races this year, and Billy Wilburn doing double duty this weekend, as we have said many a time. He works for Rusty Wallace on the Winston Cup circuit as a tire changer, and Billy runs here today and tomorrow, then heads up to the Irish Hills of Michigan for the weekend.
Yeah, and it's not like right at Charlotte or some of these other racetracks when he's right there in the same area. He's got to fly back up to Michigan.
Take a look at the top of your screen, and you see Billy Wilburn going high, and
boy, all but going over.
Yeah.
Man, he smacked that wall hard.
Watch it again here. Yeah, gave it a pretty good lick, didn't he?
I'll tell you what, that is about as close to turning over without going over as you can be in a sprint car. He is very lucky.
So we've got the caution flying here at the Bristol Motor Speedway. Billy Wilburn, he's okay. Concerned about the car as the Lasowskis look on.
When the job is tough, you need the best. And when you need the best, you reach for channel lock. For the power, the precision. For just plain counting on, there's only one channel lock. Reach for it.
30 love.
Everyone needs more energy. Whether you're a pro,
Great backhand.
or just acting like one.
Nice shot. She's playing.
Start your day with Grape Nut cereal. It's energy for living.
What's the difference between ordinary potting soil and Miracle Grow potting mix? Results. University tests prove that plants grown in Miracle Grow potting mix grow twice as big. Try Miracle Grow potting mix. The miracle is in the mix.
Attention U.S. veterans between the ages of 50 and 79. This message is for honorably discharged United States veterans from all branches of service, including the reserves. Message also applies to spouses and widows. You are eligible to apply for term life insurance benefits under a veterans-only program now available in most states from Veterans Life Insurance Company. Stay tuned for details. Many veterans and their families have received this notice advising them of eligibility for benefits. If you did not receive one, you may not be aware you could qualify to apply for life insurance coverage from Veterans Life Insurance Company. If you're a U.S. veteran, age 50 to 79, or the spouse or widow of a veteran, you can still apply for $5,000 or $10,000 of supplemental life insurance exclusively at vets-only rates. Call this number now to request your no-cost, no-obligation benefit eligibility statement from Veterans Life, with the rate for your age and steps you must take to apply. Call the number on your screen now. It's toll-free. You'll also receive a Veterans Burial Benefits Update that explains government benefits.
$4.49 for your benefit eligibility statement, rate, and the free Veterans Burial Update. Call 1-800-700-9449. That's 1-800-700-9449. Call now.
Honoring your past, securing your future. That's Veterans Life Insurance Company. Additional life insurance at vets-only rates. Applications are being accepted now. For yours, just call this number. Information is free and there's no obligation.
Great view of the Bristol Motor Speedway, the high-banked half-mile here in Bristol, Tennessee, where tonight SprintCarNet.com is on hand, as they are virtually all the time. Those are the fellas who bring you live audio webcasts of the Pennzoil World of Outlaws races. They'll be covering over the course of the year 80 different events. So if you'd like to get the inside play-by-play action when TNN's not on the scene, SprintCarNet.com. Check it out, and you'll be tuned in to the Pennzoil world of outlaws. And don't forget, folks, this is night one of 2 nights of racing for you here. We will be here tomorrow night as well at 9:00 p.m. Eastern Time. Night number 2 of the Channel Lock Challenge. What was the fastest track you drove, Brad, when you were active on the tour?
Well, probably Eldora was the fastest laps, but the Syracuse Mile, as far as mile-per-hour straightaway speed, the Syracuse Mile, gosh, 15 years ago, we were running 160 plus down the straightaways then. And so that, and again, you can feel the speed in a sprint car going that fast.
I bet you can. Again, here, the full lap speeds are about 141 miles an hour, but on the radar gun today, going into the corners, 168 miles an hour, the fastest we saw. Green flag is out again. Jeff Shepard leads the parade back into 1.
I like the way Shepard restarted that. We talked earlier about the running down off the bank to get an advantage. He did a nice job there. As you see, Schaefer going by Mark Kinzer.
That's the battle for second spot. Give it to the Vivarin team ahead of Team Mopar.
Well, I don't know how Schaefer got such a run, but boy, he just drove by Mark. But on that restart, Schaefer turned the car and came down off that banking and got a nice run. Maybe Mark Kinzer having some sort of a problem where he couldn't keep with Shepard, and now Schaefer goes by.
They work back off into the corner. There's Shepard still showing the way.
A little bit of smoke out of Mark's car. We've seen that before. Carl runs a unique breather system on the engine. Sometimes that engine does throw some smoke. That usually isn't a problem, but maybe with the car seeming like it's slowing a little bit, maybe it is a problem.
White flag is in the air now. The number 5 of Jeff Shepard.
Talking to Guy Forbrook, the crew chief mechanic on that thing. Basically, he was debating on what kind of torsion bars and how to set that thing up, and I think the bottom line was he figured that Eldora setup would be as close as they're going to get to here.
Shepard, Schaefer, Mark Kinzer, and Lasowski, the top 4. Then McMahon, Hillenberg, Brad Furr, Campbell, and Wilburn. Jeremy Campbell, if you're not familiar with that name we had mentioned, a 17-year-old. But there you see the dude coming home in 4th spot. So Chris, Landon, your hubby, your father's set to go in the A main. He's got the little cars going there. Somebody's on his head. One of the cars is upside down there. We're coming right back with more from the Bristol Motor Speedway, where TNN Sports is covering the Channel Lock Challenge.
I don't know if they're legal.
Sleeping.
Chocolate-covered strawberries.
I can't reveal those kind of things.
Chicken wings.
Haagen-Dazs ice cream and Reese's chocolate broken up in it.
Sour Patch Kids.
Mariah Carey. My favorite vice? Sleep.
Women.
I'm addicted to energy. Lingerie shopping.
I do all of it. I have no vices. I don't like to lie.
Wendy's.
Vices? These shoes. Do we have to go there? I'm trying to quit, so...
When you're a big-time racer, it's just fame, fortune, and fans. Pretty cool. Just like a new Luxair home comfort system. Top quality equipment that's backed by reliable service professionals. Designed to deliver high-efficiency performance for comfort and big-time savings for you. Call 1-800-LUXAIR for the dealer near you. Luxair, setting the performance standard.
This is ordinary potting soil. This is Miracle Grow potting mix. What's the difference? Results. University tests prove that plants grown in Miracle Grow potting mix grow twice as big. That's because it's the only potting mix that combines a premium blend of rich organic ingredients with just the right amount of Miracle Grow plant food. Try Miracle Grow potting mix. The miracle is in the mix.
And for flower beds and gardens, try Miracle Grow garden soil.
Welcome back. The Channel Lock Challenge underway here at the Bristol Motor Speedway in Tennessee. Downstairs, Bobby Gerald is in the pits, which are in the infield here at the racetrack. He's caught up with our heat winner of moments ago, Jeff Shepard.
I'm here with the always animated Jeff Shepard. Jeff, big smile on your face after that heat race win. How has the track changed this year to last year?
I don't think it's going to be as dusty. Actually, it feels racy. I mean, I can kind of run a little high, kind of run a little low. I mean, it's pretty nice.
Mark Kinzer ran up on you. You pulled away from him, and then actually Tim Schaefer got by Mark Kinzer. Maybe a problem with the 5M.
I don't know, but our car was good enough to win. That's what we needed to do. That's all I was concerned about, was beating Mark.
And Dave Argabright is standing by with the man who won our second heat race.
Well, 19-year-old Blake Feast, getting rid of that chewing gum for the interview here. Now, you've only raced how many nights this year?
We ran the 4 in Florida, and then we raced probably 3 times with Dad's stuff.
Now, this is a heck of a place to get going again, a big place like Bristol. We saw some sparks from your car during that heat race. Anything to be concerned about?
I don't think so. I watched the tape of last year's race, and Steve's was doing that. I think we're just getting in when the it slams down on the bank, getting into the turn, and that's what's sparking.
Well, he's ready for that channel lock dash. By the way, guys, he borrowed a fuel tank from Paul McMahon, a gear from Joey Saldana. So this is a community effort on this car here. Eli?
As oftentimes it is in the racing world, so it's good to see. And again, you've got the 33-gallon fuel cell right there that he was able to borrow from McMahon. Hey, folks, don't forget something wild and unpredictable. Well, of course, that's here tonight at Bristol, but it's also coming up on Monday night, cable television's top-rated show by a goodly distance. WWF Raw is War. Monday night, 9 p.m. Eastern and Pacific, right here on TNN. Hope you can check it out as it comes your way every Monday night. Now the starting grid for the next of our O'Reilly Auto Parts heats. Heat number 4 at Bristol. The Hurricane. Kyle Sauter, who we've seen earlier this year with some good starts. Veteran Stevie Smith and Craig Delansky. Phil Gressman's had some good runs. Winner Danny Wood. Interesting mix right there among the drivers going in this 4th heat.
Yeah, Jason Sides back there. Another good heat race. Every one of them are tough.
Riding with Danny Wood, who was 3rd and 8th at Bristol last year. 3rd on the first night, 8th on the second. Green flag. And everybody just kind of picking their way through traffic. Danny Wood carrying us off into the corner.
Danny, one of the lower budget teams trying to run out here full time, and talking about Blake Feast borrowing some parts. I mean, Danny Wood, this whole team, a good car owner, things, getting a lot of help from a lot of outside people, people chipping in, and hauling motors, Mox trucking thing, hauling motors back and forth and parts. Just a real effort for a lot of people to keep this team on the road and keep them competitive.
Remember, Danny was down to his final race car with that accident in Charlotte. Sauter, and there's Hannigan. The 1X pacing the field right now in the final of our O'Reilly Auto Parts heats.
I talked about Kyle Sauter in our last broadcast, running so well and impressing me at Eldora. Well, this place is real close to Eldora. I talked about the setups earlier, and he's looking comfortable right now. He probably feels right at home here.
But Hannigan trying to pull away, and is by a half second on Sauter. Delansky running 3rd. Stevie Smith is 4th. Then Wood, Sides, Gracie, Shank, and Gressman having parked his racer after only 1 lap. There's Hannigan. Pennzoil World of Outlaw Rookie of the Year in '95, and of course Delansky. White flag is in the air. 1/2 mile remaining for these drivers in this final of the heats. This one's going to be wire to wire for Randy the Hurricane Hannigan. Picked up a feature win in March of this year at the I-55 Speedway in Peebly, Missouri, Kenny Schrader's racetrack. And he picks up a heat win here at the Bristol Motor Speedway.
Well, just, yeah, any win, whether it's a heat race or what it is, I mean, you got to feel comfortable. He's got to feel real good right now, the way that car is throttling up off the corners and looking really smooth at this point.
And remember, this is his first look at the high banks of Bristol. This is not a return performance for him from a year ago.
Yeah, I mean, and again, just getting your race car to where the driver feels comfortable is so important at these high speeds. I mean, if the guy doesn't feel like he can drive that thing in the corner comfortably, he's just not going to.
So Hannigan gets the win. There you see Sauter, then Delansky, Then you've got Stevie Smith and Danny Wood taking home the top 5 spots as they advance into the A main. Lots of racing yet to come. We've got the Channel Lock Dash, the B main, and then the 20-lap A, all coming up at Bristol. Lisa Chalenza and those fans who have come out for the first of 2 nights of racing, the Channel Lock Challenge. Moments ago, they saw a hurricane blow through Bristol, Tennessee. It was a guy named Hannigan all the way to victory lane. Dave Argabright is standing by with Randy.
Well, Eli, forget about the hurricane in Texas. The real hurricane is here at Bristol. Randy Hannigan, you got the 1X KNC drywall car on the pole of the dash. Is this the night you expected? Such a great start?
Well, it didn't really start out too good. We qualified kind of early in the track, kind of got a little bit better towards the end, and we slipped back, and that put us on the pole for the heat race. But, you know, we're coming along real good. The team's gelling real good right now. We're lacking a crew member, but, you know, I can't say enough about the KNC drywall guys and Kaiser Air Compressor and Earl Gertie, you know, supplying me with some good horsepower here.
Is this a horsepower track? Is that, how key is that here?
Well, it is. It's a big key, you know, because, you know, right now it's a big cam game in these motors. You know, you really, horsepower numbers aren't real big right now. It's getting the cams situated to the racetracks, and Earl's come up with a good combination for us, and you know, the thing runs really hard off the corner. And I just, I like to say hi to my brother right now, Terry. I wish he was out here. I think he'd be in awe over this place because it's awesome.
Well, Hurricane Hannigan is alive and well here at Bristol. Eli?
No doubt about it. Thank you. And, of course, they love Brad Doty wherever they are. Holmes County, Ohio. That's where the fan club representing that area is today. They love Brad Doty, some of those folks as well. Bobby Gerald, I'm sure they love you and Mark Kinzer also.
Well, I hope so. I hope I'm getting some love somewhere. I know Mark Kinzer has a lot of love, a lot of fans around this country cheering for the 5M, but 5M's going in the trailer right now and the hood's off. What's going on?
We're changing the motor. We didn't qualify very good, and our heat race was unsatisfactory, and you need a lot of horsepower here at Bristol, so we're going to try another shooter.
And that's just as simple as it is. There wasn't necessarily something you could put your finger on. It just wasn't up to snuff.
Yes, that's right. Gary Stanton's got us a couple new Mopars in here, and we're going to try another one.
All right, let me ask you about the racetrack. As you're going down the back straightaway into turn 3, there's a little bit of a dip, a transition before you go into turn 3. How unsettling is that for you?
Actually, Bob, when you're in the car, you don't really notice that well, but I was watching the first heat race, and I was in the third heat race. It looks spooky from here.
All right, Mark Kinzer will have a new bullet when he reappears a little bit later on tonight, Eli. And also want to follow up just real quick on the 76 PJ Chesson. They were having all kinds of problems, changed the mag, barrel valve, never could get it figured out, and he scratched for the night.
All right, so a tough break for him, but for the Kinzer bunch right there, 15 minutes with the quick release hoses and what have you and all the fittings, and they'll have that new bullet primed to go. Hey, folks, you can see the biggest stars in sports entertainment and get a behind-the-scenes look at what's going down in the World Wrestling Federation. WWF Superstars comes your way Sunday mornings at 10 a.m. Eastern and Pacific. It is all right here on TNN. As we continue at the Channel Lock Challenge, earlier this evening, Lisa Chalenza caught up with the president of Channel Lock.
I'm here with Bill DeArmond. He's the president of Channel Lock Industries. Now, you, of course, are famous for your pliers. Tell me about that, Bill.
Well, Channel Lock manufactures very high-quality pliers, and we've done this for 50 years. The company's been in business for 115. But we think we do a good job in the hand tool business, and a lot of the fans that come out to this racetrack will probably know who we are, and if you don't, you should go out and buy yourself a good pair of pliers made by Channel Lock.
Now, Channel Lock has been involved in racing for a very long time, and you're also involved in the sprint cars as well as Busch Series. What's the attraction to racing?
Well, we believe that the fans that go to racing will probably be interested in buying a good, high-quality pair of pliers. So in 1990 and 1991, we started to advertise behind the Busch Series in NASCAR. In 91, we started to sponsor Steve Grissom. In 93, we were fortunate enough to win the Busch Championship. And then in 95, we got connected with Sammy Swindell through the NASCAR Super Truck Series. Then in '96, we transferred into the World of Outlaws with Sammy. We've had 6 good years with Sammy, and also concurrently we're running a Bush program. So we have 2 racing programs going on, all oriented toward attracting fans to the sport and hopefully to buying some tools.
Now, you're also involved in Race Day, Channel Lock Race Day 2000. It's coming up in September, and it's going to be in Meadville, Pennsylvania. What can you tell me about that?
Right. Channel Lock is located in Meadville, Pennsylvania, which is in northwestern Pennsylvania, and on September 24, we open up our whole parking lot at our main facility and bring in all the local sprint cars, modified cars. We'll have Sammy there with his team. We'll have a lot of the outlaw people stop by with their teams and rigs. Hopefully we'll have a couple of Bush teams there, and it's just a nice day in the afternoon. And also, our employees take advantage of this and can come out and celebrate the whole racing experience.
Thank you so much. It sounds like a really good time. We'll have to check it out.
Thank you.
All right, guys, thank you. Brad, you were at that race day last year, weren't you?
Yeah, it really is a neat deal because the fans come from all over and they have all the different race teams, and everybody can just wander around and see everything right up close and personal.
Next up, the Channel Lock Dash. They will set the top 10 starting spots for the A-Main as soon as we return to Bristol.
Honey, did you get paper plates? You got ice, right?
Ice. Short trips really beat up your engine, but Pennzoil with Pure Base is formulated to protect against the harshness of everyday driving. We can't change the way you have to drive, but we can protect you from it.
What kind of steaks did you get?
Stop and go protection from Pennzoil. Try Pennzoil Synthetic for protection during hot summer conditions.
It takes a special event for some guys to get rid of their gray hair. But for other guys, every day of their life is special. And they live it with Just for Men. More than a hair color, it's a hair rejuvenator. Just for Men gets rid of gray in 5 easy minutes. Its vitamin-enriched formula brings back a thicker, healthier, natural look. Every day of your life is special. Live it with Just for Men.
Get a grip on it. Tools that built the USA. Get a grip on it. Then you can be your best today. Yeah. When you grip on it.
When you need a grip on life's little challenges, get a grip on Channel Lock.
Are you waiting to receive future payments from lottery winnings, lawsuit insurance settlements, or privately held mortgages, but need the cash now? Then why wait? This is the only number you need. Call Stone Street Capital at 1-800-WHY-WAIT and get a free, no-obligation confidential quote. It's that easy. You get the most competitive prices and great service. So why wait to get cash today? Even just enough to get to your next payment. Call 1-800-WHY-WAIT, extension 1900.
Are you challenging me, Mr. Wallace? It is a melancholy truth. Dickens. You will hear the Kipling. Come on, Professor. Get out.
God, you're such a good kid. They always let you get so far before they take everything away from you.
A kid with a gift will find the one person who can give him a chance.
Perhaps you'll find a way to amaze even me.
From the director of Good Will Hunting.
You're the man now, dog.
Finding Forrester, rated PG-13.
The best entertainment firepower can be yours with these big channels of HBO The Works. Enjoy all the action of Hollywood movies with today's hottest stars.
Hi, how are you?
Bold, daring, and new originals. What? You'll get everything from sports to family fun.
Something big's happening here, eh?
Don't miss the shows that make waves.
Tell me more.
Order online or call now to order HBO The Works for just $12.99 a month on Dish Network.
TNN Sports coverage of the Channel Lock Challenge from the Bristol Motor Speedway is being brought to you by Mopar, parts for Chrysler, Plymouth, Dodge, and Jeep vehicles from the dealerships that sell and install them. Getting set for the Channel Lock Dash here at the Channel Lock Challenge. Bristol Motor Speedway, the field forming up, but I don't know if everybody's out there, Bobby Gerald.
That's right. Donnie Schott's not out there. Was scheduled to be the 9th car in this 10-car field. Donnie, what happened?
We had a broken spark plug. It had a miss. I thought it had a busted valve, and I pulled in here, but I guess the outlaw officials want to enforce a rule tonight that you don't come to your trailer, so I guess that's why we're sitting here.
Okay, so because he addressed the car toward the trailer, that is usually the signal at all the other racetracks that the car is scratched for the night. And so I guess that was the ruling in this case. Schatz will start 10th in tonight's feature event.
Donnie Schatz with 9 top 10s in the last 10 races, including 3 wins, one of the hottest drivers on the circuit.
Kind of to clarify that, if they'd have known it was just a spark plug, they could have pulled up to the work area and possibly changed the spark plug. Donnie thought the engine problem was terminal, went to the trailer, and they are enforcing the rule. He can't go back out.
So that's what transpires there as you see the field for the Channel Lock Dash. The finishing order will establish the top 10 starters in the A main. Steve Kinzer all the way there, shotgun on the field. Remember that they were putting that new bullet in, but he too is going to find himself at the grace of the racing gods, as he too doesn't get the time here to answer the bell. Little bumping on the start.
Again, on the shots, he'll be able to come out in the A main. He just was not able to come out in the dash, so he'll have to start 10th in the A main.
Feast, the young man, going outside, but they don't like the way that start went. So very, very quickly, Roger Slack will put the caution back out. I wonder if Sammy Swindell jumped the start like he did in heat number 1 here a year ago.
Oh, not again.
Well, let's see if anybody gets run over.
Deja vu all over again.
Yeah, looks like they were signaling Sammy to go back. And Sammy's got to go back. Remember, we showed you that earlier about the controversy in the first heat last year. Now he then moved his car in the direction of one of the officials and went through all the... He was hot last year. I mean, a lot of the stuff that didn't even make the pictures. Yep. He was really having to be restrained by his wife. I mean, he was not a happy boy last year.
Well, that bright blue car with the Channel Lock sponsorship is really noticeable this weekend, being a Channel Lock race.
Sure.
And if you're ever going to try to get away with that stuff, maybe this isn't the place to do that.
And, of course, for only the second time in 25 years, Sammy Swindell needed until May to get his first win of the season. So maybe there's a frustration element, even though he was a winner at Hagerstown. Maybe there's a frustration element going on as well.
Yeah, that quite possibly could be. I mean, it's not the season he's accustomed to.
So the field realigning as we get set to go in the Channel Lock Dash. 10 laps here to set the top 10 starting spots.
I'm amazed by Feast. We'll see if we can get another good start here. But to be all the limited experience he has and to be out here, win the heat and get a good start in the dash. But I do want to clarify one thing. He said he watched the tape and talked about those sparks.
He watched tape from last year.
Last year. Well, that was last year when they get down, the frame would spark. The problem he has was not the frame sparking. When he sees this year's tape, he'll realize that was a brake problem.
Green flag. This time Hannigan gets the inside jump, and look at the red 7 of Delansky slicing through traffic as Swindell goes high on the banking.
Boy, and Sammy got passed by Kinzer and Lasowski.
Sammy's ticked.
Delansky, actually. Oh, and Hannigan got around Fees.
On the start he did, made the very quick jump. So Hannigan, who set the quick time at Talladega and at Terre Haute, he pulls away now. Feast in second. He ran the Jerry Richard Memorial with IRA last weekend up in Wisconsin. There's Chesson, who won his heat race earlier.
Another young guy having a good run. Again, if they finish in this position, they're going to start in the first couple rows. Feast would be outside front row with Chesson in the second row. Hannigan would be on the pole. Again, the way they finish is the way they line the main up.
Meanwhile, some of the veterans battling further back. 8th and 9th right there. Swindell in the blue. Kinzer in the green.
It's amazing. These guys have been going at it for 20-some years.
And still put on a heck of a show, even if it is for 8th and 9th.
A lot of pride right there, wanting to beat the other one. As Chesson goes around Feast.
That'll be for second spot.
Maybe not. Feast able to battle back around the top. Had that momentum on the outside line. Should have it here again, but no, I think, yep,
Chesson's going to get him. James went to Knoxville last week with his brother. They were practicing for the Nationals, getting some laps in.
Now Davey Brown, their mechanic, was also inducted in the Hall of Fame, so they went out there kind of a tune-up for the World of Outlaw race coming up in a few weeks, and again for the Knoxville Nationals in August.
Final lap for the Hurricane. Hannigan's going to take the checkers, and he's got the best seat in the house for the A-Main coming up later today. Then Chesson, Feast, Shepard, Pittman is 5th. Delansky, then Lasowski, Swindell, and of course back at the tail end, the guys who did not start, Kinzer and Donnie Schatz. Nice solid run for Hannigan. This could be a big night for him.
Well, there's a guy that's not going to be happy again with the Bristol situation, because he started, what, 5th and ended up 2nd from the tail. So that puts him back in the A-Main in the lineup.
So a good run. You see Dave Argabright pivoting into position. We'll be hearing from Hannigan here in just a moment or so. The J.D. Byrider team coming home in 7th spot for Danny Lasowski, who did not have a spectacular Bristol a year ago. Trying to improve upon that here in 2001. There you see the numbers and how they will line up in the A-Main a bit later on. Take a look at something very interesting. The very first start. Watch that blue Sammy Swindell channel lock machine right there. This is the start that they waved off. He's inside of Pittman.
Yep.
Good call by the officials.
Yep, you can't do that. Even though he feels like, I'm sure he feels like Shepard didn't take off and was holding him up. You cannot pass until you get by the white line. Good call by the officials.
And Swindell ends up in 8th spot. There is Sammy getting set for the A-Main coming up a bit later on. Maybe we'll hear from Sammy when we come back, but he doesn't seem to be having quite the concerns of a year ago. Meanwhile, let's go downstairs. Dave Argabright is with our winner.
Well, Randy Hannigan, when you got it going, you got it going. What could you possibly do to the race car at this point to make it better?
Well, we just maybe need to take a little bit of stagger out, and just watch the tire situation. Race car's excellent right now. I got to thank Pete Caporn, Bobby Hoff, and I got Brooke Tatnell helping me tonight. He's without a ride, but he's helping me, and we got a good crew together tonight, and everything seems to be going really good. And Wheeler Gresham out in California sent me some Carrera shocks, some new ones, and we got them on tonight. Make a big difference.
What is the track going to do now for the feature? Will it dry up some more?
Yeah, I think it'll dry up a little bit more, but I don't know if it's going to make a lot of difference. Maybe in the guys when you can't get out there and run wide open and you're in and out of the throttle a lot, that might make a difference. But right now, you just run around there wide open. I'm just real happy to be able to race on a racetrack that Dale Earnhardt raced on. As you can see by the decal on my car, I'm a big fan of his, and it's pretty neat here.
Well, the Hurricane Hannigan is still blowing, Eli.
Really is. He raced in just over half the races last year, but still went to 9 top 10s and a 19th in points.
Two Pop Tuesdays. Hi, this is Carlo from Flushing, Queens. This week's Two Pop Tuesday, where you get to see the same great movie back-to-back, is Scanners, directed by David Cronenberg. If you're into movies where you get to see veins popping and guys' heads exploding like microwave popcorn, then this one's for you. Pass the butter. Watch Scanners Tuesday at 9 and again at 11:30 on TNN.
Mopar. Great parts for these vehicles and yours. That's the Mopar difference.
Oh, I don't know if this is such a good idea, but come on. We only have a few more miles to go. Oh, this don't feel right.
What if people treated you the way you treat your car?
Oh, suck it up. Let's go. Let's go.
At Pet Boys, we treat vehicles right with a wide selection of quality truck tires from just $54.99, 7 days a week.
Okay, it's feeling better.
Good.
It's numbing out.
That's normal. All you need to know is where to go. Pet Boys.
Get a grip on it. Tools that built the USA. Get a grip on it. Then you can be the best today. Yeah. When you grip on it.
When you need a grip on life's little challenges, get a grip on Channel Lock.
My memories of Texas, the grand openings.
The Spin Doctors.
Saturday night wrestling.
The Silverware.
The hot cuisine.
We even learned to speak the language. Get along, little doggies.
Even the vacations are bigger in Texas, so we'll give you a free Texas State Travel Guide, Accommodations Guide, and Texas Highway Map when you call 1-800-8888-TEX, extension 65, or visit us at TravelTex.com. You'll get the insider's view of Texas, what to see, what to do, where to stay. Free when you call 1-800-8888-TEX, extension 65. So give us a call, y'all. Texas, it's more than you think. It's like a whole other country.
All right, so I lied to you. Welcome back to the Bristol Motor Speedway. I said things were nice and quiet down there with Sammy Swindell. Moments ago, he had a visit from Danny Lasowski, who seems to be a little bit animated. And Sammy says, let's not talk here. TNN's camera is eavesdropping. They talked for a little while. As you can see, a rather animated discussion. You know, we had talked, Brad, about the intensity at the top of the show. This is what it's all about.
And frustrations and tempers getting ready to flare because of the traveling and all the rainouts. And this might just be some of it coming to a head right here.
Then eventually the dude goes on back. Now we are live, and Sammy is with Bobby Gerald. Bobby, what's going on down there?
Well, we'll find out. We're down here with Sammy right now. He pulled in the #1 car after the heat race. Let's first talk about the start out there. What's your contention on the start? You're obviously unhappy.
Yeah, well, you know, it's supposed to be when the front leaders get to the white line, you can go, but Jeff Stewart's or Jeff Shepard's motor didn't take off, so it was either run into him or go under him, you know, so I went under him, but apparently they don't like the Channel Lock team starting up front. They don't want a car dominating this race, I guess, so didn't get a very good start there on the second one, and had a guy, I was in between a couple guys, but they closed the door on me, and lost some spots down in 1 and 2, but we'll come back, and you know, if they want to start in the back, I guess we'll start in the back. If we win it from there, we earned it. Shame on them.
Sammy, what was going on with Lasowski? He came down and said something to you.
Oh, I don't know. He likes to get in the middle of the TV, so I think he's seen the cameras over here. They weren't at his car, so he had to come down here and get in the middle of it. So but I just gave him a little push on the start, and I guess he didn't like that. So he's a little nervous here. He don't like to go this fast anyway. So, you know, if he can't handle it, you know, he needs to park it.
All right, there's Sammy Swindell's version. Let's go over to Dave Argabright.
Wow. Well, those are some strong words. I guess Sammy just said that if you can't handle it here, you should park it. What was the discussion down there a minute ago?
Ah, that's what he said, huh? That's for you, Sammy. Then I'll tell you what. Bottom line is he got caught for jumping. For some reason, he thought he was going to take it out on my car. Well, he's going to mess with the bull. He's going to get the horn. I can tell you that.
Oh.
Well, there we have it, Eli.
I just love this. You know, it's refreshing to see the emotions just bubble forth honestly like that.
So much for me saying in the opener that they need to leave their frustrations in the pits when they get in that race car and get that, you know, keep their head screwed on straight.
And so much for me saying it was nice and quiet and calm down there in the pits.
Yeah, they're a little fired up right now.
Well, when we come back, we've got the B main and, of course, the 15-round heavyweight bout yet to come tonight. All here at the Channel Lock Challenge.
Can't make it
to Nashville for fanfare?
We'll bring fanfare to you.
All next week, CMT takes you there with daily fanfare updates from the freshest new music news show on television. CMT Most Wanted Live.
It's live.
Plus celebrity softball and the TNN CMT Country Weekly Award Show.
The stars.
The concerts. All the behind-the-scenes stuff.
Anything could happen.
Fanfare Week. All next week.
Exclusively on CMT.
Who's your daddy?
Explosive, provocative, outrageous, and it's not over yet.
There's no turning back.
Everyone's watching.
I know you're using. Then check yourself into rehab.
And everyone's waiting.
I'm the one giving up everything in my damn life to be with you.
For the final 3 episodes of the season from the show that broke all the rules.
So you're just abandoning your son?
When I walk out that door, I don't plan on ever looking back.
Queer as Folk, starting tonight at 10, only on Showtime.
We are back, getting set to go with the B-Main. Billy Wilburn's team still doing repairs on the Zero. He had his near flip earlier in the evening, if you're just joining us. Now let's take a look at who's who here in this B-Main with the top 4 advancing to the A. Some pretty good names like Greg Hodnett is in there, and Myers and Hillenberg. And Brad Furr, very quiet here this evening.
Yeah, Gressman, another good runner. Schrader, I mean, these B-Mains anymore, I mean, it's just so hard to make the A-Main right off the bat. Hillenberg winning outdoor last week.
Green flag, and Greg Hodnett gets the quick jump. The Apple Chevrolet.
Nice speed shot there, showing how fast they're going at the end of the straightaway.
Unbelievable here. Hillenberg in the 2, running 3rd. The attrition already begins to mount up here in the early moments of the B-Main. That was the Hall machine that you saw going down the back pit area. Hank Hall, a local racer from Kingsport, Tennessee. That's one of the Tri-Cities. Kingsport, Bristol, Johnson City, making up the Tri-Cities of Tennessee.
And not a lot of sprint cars in this area of Tennessee. Memphis area, there's quite a few, but not up in this area.
There you see Hodnett. That team raced here last year with Tyler Walker, you remember, carrying the rat bag colors. And there's problems for Goodman again. The 3G. And there's going to be caution on the speedway. Mike Goodman from Tulsa, Oklahoma, where there are plenty of sprint cars.
Yeah, you're speaking of Hodnett there, was leading this thing again. He's comfortable speed, runs Williams Grove every week. We know that's a long straightaway and a lot of mile per hour there also.
He was the guy who flipped and hit the bridge.
Hit the bridge, yeah.
And we were at
had the back pain and everything, so he's feeling a little better.
That, of course, is the 3G that we were talking about of Mike Goodman, who gets the push back on around to the front straightaway. We are back with more in a moment.
I like this one. I like this one.
Green or blue?
Anything but beige.
Decisions.
I'm not afraid of color, I think.
At least one choice is easy.
Home Depot is the place for paint.
The paint is me.
She makes it easy, so she can make it gorgeous.
See? Nothing to be afraid of.
Here's your color match.
Wow. My home is my masterpiece.
Lots of color.
That's why I went to Home Depot first.
The Home Depot, first in home improvement.
Way to go.
What?
Drinking that 100% pure Florida orange juice. You know, foods like Florida orange juice as part of a balanced diet may help in the fight against heart disease. Plus, it's certified by the American Heart Association, and it contains the antioxidant vitamin C.
Honestly, where do you get all your information?
On the radio.
The radio.
Yeah, the ham radio. Get it? Ham? Sandwich?
Oh, that is a new low.
100% pure Florida orange juice. Squeeze more health into life.
Honey, can you help me clean? They're your parents.
No, the game's tied.
Tell you what, when you've used up this one sheet of Brawny, you can quit cleaning.
Really? Excellent.
Brawny has scrubbing circles for scrubbing strength. And Brawny's tight weave construction means you'll have to stop scrubbing long before Brawny does.
Honey, what kind of paper towel is this?
It's Brawny. Brawny, dear.
Brawny, it might be too strong.
Welcome back, everybody, as Greg Hotnet continues to pace the field under caution here. The Channel Lock Challenge at Bristol Motor Speedway. We are running the B main right now. And then it's on to the A. Mark Hinzer is like all of us. You always got to find something to eat at the racetrack. And he is right there. There's a concession stand in the infield. He's tired of eating dirt, and he's going to get something from the concession stand. And that is for the benefit of the crews and the drivers right there in the infield at the Bristol Motor Speedway. They don't miss much at this racetrack. Green flag. Quick jump right there you saw for Hillenberg trying to go around the outside of Myers in the black number 20.
Andy running quite a bit higher, getting in than is Jason Myers. There he's got a run on him. Oh, Myers just closed the door on him.
You know, I wasn't here last year for this race, Brad. I did see it on TV. This is definitely, problems on the back straightaway. Another problem. As everybody piles in, the first one that went around was the 7S of Jason Sides. The 8H is Butch Schroeder. And the 10C is Jeremy Campbell, the young 17-year-old. So caution is out there again.
Glad to see everybody moving around. That was a vicious hit by the 10 car. Looked like right in top of the roll cage, and looked like after the infield shot there that the right front was had taken most of the hit. As you see down here, the right front's completely going off the car. The cockpit area looks real good. The driver's climbing out.
Let's take a look and see what happened here coming off of turn 2. They just got together.
Yep, somebody got in the back of somebody else.
They both went for the same piece of real estate.
Now watch this hit right down here at the bottom, right there.
Pretty mean.
Pretty hard hit.
How'd you hear the
fans?
fans?
It goes up and over the infield guardrail.
Yeah. You hear the fans back in the grandstands applauding as all the drivers get out. Watch that.
Watch the car goes up and actually over into the infield, up over the cement wall in the back straightaway.
That was Jeremy Campbell. Watch that. Man. You know, I was going to say that one thing, I wasn't here for last year's race, but I did see it on the tube, and the racetrack today seems to be a whole lot racier than maybe it was a year ago, if that's the right term.
Absolutely. We talked about it earlier. They've put more dirt in the infield. They've taken a lot of banking out, and it has made the track more racy.
But two guys get together going for the same piece of real estate. That's what's going to happen. Butch Schrader right there, apparently done for the evening. They get the Jason Sides car righted again.
Schrader took a nasty one here last year. Totally destroyed a car. This one's wasn't quite as bad. Okay, this is out of turn 2, and you're going to see right there those cars get together. And that starts it. It looked like the 7 might have gotten in the back of Schrader, but there's the big hit.
Yeah.
And up over the infield wall
goes Jeremy Campbell. So track cleanup underway. The sides are gone on Jason's car, but the drivers are okay.
What are you doing? What? Who are you guys? You got the wrong guy.
Think this is harsh? Well, it's what you do to your car every day. All that stop-and-go driving is torture on your engine. But Pennzoil with Pure Base is formulated to protect against the harshness of all that stopping and starting. Stop-and-go protection from Pennzoil. Try Pennzoil Synthetic for protection during hot summer conditions.
Mom, Dad, we're best friends, right?
Guess what? I'm about 2 seconds away from dumping you, kicking you out of my life.
You won't even recognize me. And pretty soon, someone's gonna try to get me to take drugs.
Want to do something about it? You're gonna have to make me tell you where I am and who I'm with every day.
No matter how much I fight you. Don't like it? Tough.
You gotta be the grown-up.
Honey, I ordered a movie.
In every home, in every heart, movies have become as much a part of Americana as apple pie and the community ballpark. It's where families and friends enjoy the magic of the movies of our time. Share the experience. Tonight, pick up your remote instead of your car keys. Order a pay-per-view movie from Dish on Demand.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome, making his Fanatic Series debut, Chris Jericho.
All hail the Ayatollah of rock and roll!
Break down the walls, an exclusive look at one of the most charismatic superstars in the World Wrestling Federation, Chris Jericho. The WWF Fanatic Series presents Break Down the Walls. Order it all month long on Dish on Demand.
The Channel Lock Challenge rolls on at the Bristol Motor Speedway. Glad you're with us. Eli Gold, Brad Doty, Bobby Gerald, Dave Argabright, Lisa Chilenza. The track cleanup continues after that three-car tangle out of turn number 2. Let's go downstairs. Dave's got an update.
Well, Butch Schrader has power steering fluid all over the helmet, as you can see. Butch, you're obviously okay. What happened?
Well, you know, I was just coming out of that corner there, and boom, it got blasted with oil. I thought the engine blew up at first, but, you know, I think it was just power steering fluid. I couldn't see. I started getting onto the gas a little bit, and I just hate it for the rest of the guys that ran into the back of me and junked some race cars there. But, well, we'll just see what we can do and come back tomorrow.
Well, that's all they can do at this point. This is the place where things sometimes do go boom, Eli.
Indeed, but of course, Butch Schrader, we had the quick lap at Eldora, you remember, last June against all the outlaw regulars. So, you know, things will at times go boom, but sometimes they come up lucky sevens also. Though they go back to complete lap number 4. That's where scoring reverts to. Greg Hugnett bringing him to the stripe in the green. We're back underway in the B main.
When Schrader talking about losing power steering when something in the steering breaks like that or fluid, not only does, you know, it scared him, he thought the engine blew up, but it literally locks the steering up. When you lose fluid out of the power steering, it locks up. At these speeds, he did the best thing, get out of the throttle. Unfortunately, the guys behind him couldn't check up in time.
Hodnett, Myers, Hillenberg. Laney next in line, who switched to that Maxim chassis in Houston back in April, you might remember.
Andy looking a little faster than Myers right now. Just can't quite, just not fast enough to get around. I think if he's in front of him, he could actually pull away, but you can see him moving all over the racetrack, trying to get a run on him and trying to make the pass.
Myers, if you were here last year, used a provisional starting spot that went to a driver from the Gumout series to get into the field. No such need for him this year.
See what Andy's doing there? He's running in on the top, and he'll turn it and try to come down off that banking, and he just can't quite get enough run.
All of this 1 1/10 of a second behind Greg Hodnett. That's why we stay with this battle on the racetrack while Hodnett just runs by his lonesome. 2 laps to go. Hodnett, Myers, Hillenberg, Laney, Gressman running 5th. Brad Furr is running in 6th spot. White flag. So after last we saw him flipping off the bridge at Williams Grove, things have turned around for Greg Hodnett. Checkered flag for the Apple Chevrolet. He takes the win, moves on to the A. Myers, Hillenberg, and Laney next across the line to advance as well. Solid run, not even challenged was Hodnett.
No, not at all. He was running a lower line pretty much around from the middle to the bottom, and we saw Hillenberg running the very top.
So let's take a look at how they came across the stripe here in the B. Now we will be set to go racing in the A main. There are the drivers who have advanced. We'll come back for 20 laps in the A next from Bristol. Well, not many of them made the trip down to the high banks of Bristol Motor Speedway, but we have seen much of the posse over the course of this year. Right now, as we have a chance prior to the A main, let's take a look at some of the challenges of racing. Brought to you by the folks at Ratbag. Remember, folks, the top 10 finishers in last year's points are eligible for the Rat Bag Cup competition, and the driver accumulating the most points during the races televised by TNN will earn a $25,000 bonus, and that's how the numbers stack up right now, battling for their share of $120,000 that'll be given away at season's end. I wonder what happened to that Australian girl who'd pop up on the screen now and say something in a provocative style. She's been replaced by these folks from Winterstown, Pennsylvania, who are enjoying these races far more, I'm sure, than that young lady from down under. New York's on hand. This is one of those racetracks, obviously, Brad, that is so unique on the circuit. It attracts folks from all across the country.
It really is unique to see this dirt on this racetrack and the work that they go to put this show on. And the novelty is there. The people are still coming, and there's a guy that was fired up earlier.
Yeah, Daniel, they're the horns he's getting ready. He said if he wants to mess with the bull, he's going to get the horns. Those are the horns. That was part of the back-to-back goings-on between Lasowski and that team right there, Sammy Swindell. They got tangled up a little bit earlier, and in case you missed it, this is what took place. And the conversation was animated enough. Sammy says, not here, the cameras are watching. But then in the interviews, Swindell said, you know, let's face it, Lasowski just doesn't like to go this fast. If he doesn't like this racetrack, he ought to pack it up.
You can hear Danny there's, tell me what I did, tell me what I did. I mean, Danny feels like he wasn't at fault there. He was just the car that was put in front of him.
Now we are live again, and Sammy is getting set for the A-Main. Checking all the numbers to make sure his channel lock racer is all dialed in. No love lost. That was a big race air thermometer and weather station as he gets dialed in for the A.
NBA playoffs. 2 games this weekend, and this is a war. Good God, y'all.
Hi, TNN. I can't believe I'm calling you this, but I just saw the MTV Movie Awards last night, and Julia Stiles and Sean Patrick Thomas won Best Kiss. Well, they didn't see me and my boyfriend going at it in the last show of the theater, coincidentally during the same movie. Sorry, Charlie, I had to tell someone.
TNN, taking your calls 24 hours a day.
This is ordinary. So let's take a look at our Mopar starting grid for the A-Main. Mopar, parts for Chrysler, Plymouth, Dodge, and Jeep vehicles and the dealerships that sell and install them. There you see who's who. Craig Delansky hoping to get back on the winning ways, turn things around this weekend. Look at Lasowski and Swindell, Brad, side by side.
Yeah, that ought to be interesting on the start.
We've got 4 onboard cameras to ride around the Bristol Motor Speedway with you here on this A-Main tonight. Remember how well Greg Hodnett ran earlier. Mark Kinzer, Dennis Kohler and Cole Kane and Justin Adams, the crew on that 5M, making the engine change that we showed you a little bit earlier. So what do you think as they get set with the 4 wide salute to the fans? Do Lasowski and Swindell behave or not?
I sure hope so at these speeds, but what I think this is a good chance for some of the young guns to maybe pull off a win here with Hannigan, Chesson, Fees, and Shepard up there in the first 2 rows.
Remember, Lasowski says, I'm the bull. Swindell says, I can be the matador. It's all right.
Saw a little smile there from Delansky. Hopefully everybody's cooled down a little bit. And as we said earlier in the opener, when they get out in a race car, hopefully they'll forget about all that and just go to racing.
25 laps for the A-Main here this evening. And now, of course, the folks who might be new to the Pennzoil World of Outlaws, let's remind everybody how important what happens tonight is towards tomorrow night.
Yeah, the top 4 finishers tonight are locked in for tomorrow night's A-Main. Everybody else has to qualify, run heats, and take the risk of maybe getting torn up and crashed. So those 4 guys have a huge advantage.
This guy's the wild card, Donnie Schatz. Remember, he didn't run earlier. And remember, he finished 2nd here last year in the preliminary A. And then led 12 laps in the A-Main the next night before his engine went away.
And also for those new to this, looking around seeing all these empty grandstands. I mean, this is a huge crowd for a sprint car race. What's it hold here, 130 or something thousand
30,
people?
140, 150,000 people, depending on who's doing the estimating.
Yeah.
But it's huge, this racetrack is. So, you know, having 35 or 40,000 fans in this speedway, the place still looks totally empty. But it's probably one of the larger crowds you'll see until you come back to Bristol again next year. Let's ride along with Donnie Schatz on the start of the A-Main. 25 laps to wrap it up tonight.
Boy, he's running in on the top. Saw one car look like Stevie Smith way up over the cushion there, but he brought it back down, and he's in good shape now. There's Jeff Shepard.
There's Swindell.
Boy, he's going forward. Valley's gonna get
big pile up in turn one. You've got Hodnett in there. Blaney is right there. Look at that 5M. That's Kinzer. That's going to shuffle things up a bit. But again, Hodnett in the Apple car. The U.S. sprint entry for Blaney. 2 of the 4 teams involved. 1 lap complete here in the A-Main at the Bristol Motor Speedway.
Boy, at these speeds, you don't crash a little, you crash a lot here. And boy, some torn up.
There's Kyle Sauter. That's the 2S right there, the R&S Lions machine.
It's good news. They're all getting out, albeit a little slow, but
Sauter's not had a good night tonight. Of course, good enough to make it to the A-Main, but overall it's not been the kind of performance he had been hoping for all evening long. And remember, our point leader caught up in this also.
Yeah. You know, if you're gonna have to be taken out, it's best to do it on the first night of a 2-day show. It's only half points tonight.
Right.
So if you're gonna lose points, it's definitely, and have trouble, it's definitely better to be on the first night.
Sauter, who won 4 Ohio NRA events and 2 SOD races, 2 SOD races in 2000, getting caught up in that. Here's what happened again.
This is from, I believe, Mark Kinzer.
And he got caught up in it all. Man, right into the Herrera machine. You saw Herrera in that 6 just sitting broadside there. Look at McMahon sneaking by on the high side, the blue U2.
It's all Brian Paulus driving down across the bottom there. He got through it.
There's Mark Kinzer. Let's ride with him again on board and take a look at what he had to maneuver around. He had very little room, especially when Herrera got broadside in front of everybody.
Yeah, it looks like Herrera just loses it. Well, almost, might have been contact
might have been
between.
Clipped by he and Sauter.
Yep.
Yeah.
And now while all this is going on, also up on the other end, or up higher in the corner, the 2 or 3 cars are getting together, these guys, and stacking it up and blocking for Dale Blaney there in the 10.
Where do you aim? And I've always heard, certainly in asphalt, if cars are spinning, you aim right down the middle for where they are, assuming that they'll be gone by the time you get there. But 13-second laps at this racetrack, I don't even know if A can react in time and B can be anywhere near predictable.
Yeah, it's not predictable. You can't say, you know, the cars hopefully slide down the banking or up the banking in some cases. You just have to pick a spot and sometimes even close your eyes and go for it and hope you get through it.
We're going to break away and take care of a little business. The 22 of Chesson, another of those cars that has stopped on the racetrack. We're back in a moment.
The power of being there. Going anywhere you want. Seeing anyone you want. That's the power Choice Hotels gives you. And with thousands of locations in the U.S. and Canada, you can always find a great deal and a great place to stay. And now when you book a 2-night stay in advance and pay with your MasterCard, you get a $5 gas card. The power of being there has never been better. $5 gas card. Choice Hotels.
I like this one. I like this one.
Green or blue?
Anything but beige.
Decisions.
I'm not afraid of color, I think. at least one choice is easy.
Home Depot is the place for paint.
The paint is me.
She makes it easy, so she can make it gorgeous.
See?
Above the Bristol Motor Speedway, the half mile in Bristol, Tennessee. Look who's coming back. And we said he'd be out of the event. Not so.
Yep. Made an axle change along with a lot of other things. That's the front axle.
Moments ago, this is what was going on down in the pits.
Broke the axle right there, clear off. They've got all this stuff preset. Their measurements, their radius rods, that radius rods are just the rods that hold the front end, and they're all pre-measured, ready to go. They can just bolt them back in. They have quick disconnect brake lines.
Remember, Kinzer captured the prelim here last year. Finished 4th in the A-Main the second night. Cinching up those seat belts. So getting set to go. One lap is complete of the 25 that will make up the A-Main. Then again tomorrow night we're back here 9:00 p.m. Eastern time to put a capper on the Channel Lock Challenge here at Bristol Motor Speedway. Danny Lasowski in 10th right now. On the restart, or on the initial start, that man, Sammy Swindell, left him very, very quickly. Picked up a couple of spots on the dude.
Yeah, he looked real fast on the start, first couple of laps.
Schaefer is the meat in that combative sandwich.
And on these reds, they can change everything but the tire. They can do chassis adjustments, gear changes, whatever they think they need to do to go faster. They can do it on the red flag.
And the crew members were out there checking on these teams during the red that precedes this restart. So the field getting the 1 to go signal. Chesson, Shepard, Hannigan, and Delansky, along with Feast, your top 5. Schatz is 6th, Pittman 7th, Swindell, Schaefer, and Lasowski the top 10. Steve Kinzer will restart in 11th. Saldana in 12th. That's the top dozen. Back in the field, Hodnett in 19th, Hillenberg in 18th.
Delansky, they're running 4th. They've been struggling a little bit. Started out real good. They had bad crash. They've changed everything but the number. Talking to Scott Bennick, the mechanic. They've changed race cars and components, and they're trying to get that thing comfortable again for Craig.
Green flag, 1 lap complete, 24 to go in the A-Main. Feast is in that black number 3. That's the battle between Feast and Schatz for 5th place. Schatz in that yellow and blue number 15.
Yeah, Feast started 3rd, backing up a little bit through the field. The veterans and some of these guys ganging up on him here a little bit in the A-Main.
Delansky, 8/10 of a second behind the leader, running in 3rd. As Schatz loves to rim ride the outside here at Bristol.
Well, he is way up there entering the corners and staying up there, keeping his momentum going off the corner. You can see him there.
Trying to challenge Hannigan for 4th spot. That's the Hurricane just ahead of him.
Generally, when the car's on the bottom, it tends to slide a little more, pinch it off, slow speeds a little bit. Running the top, you can run the car a little bit straighter and hopefully keep your momentum up.
Of course, the inside's still the short way around, though. There's Swindell, 3.5 seconds behind the leader.
And Sammy taking the short way around. Sometimes that's not the fastest, depending on your setup. Now he goes in a little bit higher at this end, but racetrack staying in really good shape.
There's the leader, James Chesson. Has 9/10 of a second on Shepard, who's running in 2nd. And Chesson's not even been touched tonight.
It'd be nice for him, and get a win here at Bristol. Nice young guy, going to be good for the sport.
Shepard running in 2nd. Delansky 3rd. There you see the spread between 1st and 2nd. Meanwhile, riding with Mark Kinzer.
And that's Herrera right in front of him, where when the got spun and started to crash. Now Mark's back up to him.
Right, 17th and 18th. Schatz now gets around Hannigan. He's been working on him for the last handful of laps. Dust really kicking up now here at Bristol Motor Speedway.
That puts Schatz into the 4th spot that you talked about. Eli, the top 4. get locked in for tomorrow night's A-Main.
The blue number 3 of Pittman being challenged by the 1 of Swindell.
Sammy, a nice run around the outside.
From Cordova, Tennessee, he's the hometown favorite.
I talked about shocks earlier, and Sammy Swindell, real shock guy that have been really smart on the shocks. They've come so important to sprint car racing, and he's got adjustable in-car cockpit adjustments with the super shocks.
Hey,
Chess in there.
Yeah, look at Shepard closing in on him.
He's got adjustable Penske shock. Really, I mean, the shock technology has really come into play, but boy, Shepard, he's coming toward the end of the race, 13 to go, and that car is really coming in fast.
Halfway through.
I spent some time with Guy Forbrook in the pits. As I said earlier, he was debating on how to set this race car up. We talked a lot about torsion bars and shocks, and I think he just needed somebody to bounce some ideas off of, and boy, whatever he decided to put in that thing right now, it's fast.
Going to try and challenge Chesson, who tries to force him towards the wall.
Hell, Forbrook's always good engines, too. He's known for getting a lot of horsepower out of his engines, and he can use it all right here at Bristol.
And now they're catching the tail end of the field, too. Greg Hodnett just ahead of Chesson.
Well, it looks like Chesson might have heard him or actually saw him a little bit. He's picked it up a little bit. See a little bit of smoke, it looks like, out of Chesson's car.
And right behind that battle, you have Delansky in the red 7. That's Schatz in the yellow and blue 15. That's third place.
Oh,
scramble and they about touch. Gotta love Schatz' style. He tries him inside, tries him outside.
Yep, he's fast, he's comfortable. Now he goes around on the outside. So, wait, you're going to block me on the bottom? I'll just go to the outside.
This is the kind of racing the folks paid their way into Bristol to see here tonight.
Look at this. Sammy coming. Oh, Dale Blaney having a problem.
Blaney with problems right there, being bypassed by the field. Swindell trying to get up to Delansky for 4th, and there's a charge move by Schatz to the outside of Shepard. So they swap the spots around. Schatz is now in 2nd, setting his sights on the race leader, Chesson, with 6 to go.
Yeah, Shepard falling back. I don't know what's happening there with that race car, but he's definitely falling back. See, Sammy's got a run on Delansky. There goes Schatz, going to try to go for the lead.
Not there as Chesson holds off the challenge around Blaney. Chesson, Schatz, Shepard, and Swindell, the front 4 right now.
Wow, Schatz making it look easy. That Shaver's motor is definitely pulling in that car because he's running around the top, turning toward the bottom. He could run anywhere he wants, and that thing will pull him up off the corner. If he runs the bottom, he's got the momentum around the top. He's just driving away from him.
Remember, 9 top 10s in the last 10 races, including 3 wins. And here comes Swindell, the Channel Lock colors, running in 4th. And he's only a 2.5 behind the race leader with 3 laps now remaining.
Well, has that incentive. He was mad. He said they're going to start him in the back. Maybe he can win it from the back, and he's pumped up. He's charged.
And Donnie Schatz, after missing a race earlier this evening, trying to outdo his own performance of a year ago. In the preliminary 1 season ago, he finished 2nd. He's going for the checkers here tonight.
Yeah, Schatz actually started 10th, started behind Sammy Swindell, so really showing some dominance here.
Checkered flag, Schatz, Shepard, Swindell, and Chesson, the top 4. They are now locked in to tomorrow night's action here at the Bristol Motor Speedway.
That is unbelievable. I mean, starting 10th on this racetrack.
Man.
With all the more yellows and stuff that we had, I mean, to charge up through the pack on this big old racetrack, that is sheer dominance.
Some tough times last year, but this year he's locked in. Schatz, Shepard, Swindell, and Chesson as the fireworks display begins here at the Bristol Motor Speedway. This is just a taste of what we're going to be experiencing here tomorrow night. So again, Donnie Schatz, Shepard, Swindell, and Chesson have a bit of a breather. It's more than just a bit of a breather come tomorrow night's activity.
Yep, they'll have to watch everybody else all night long, you know, to keep up with the chassis setup and what the racetrack's doing. But that's the position they want to be in. They want to watch everybody else, and just get into that dash and then the A main.
When we come back, we'll be heading down to Victory Lane. The Parker Stores Blue Beacon Machine is the winner. Donnie Schatz.
I don't know if they're legal.
Sleeping.
Chocolate-covered strawberries.
I can't reveal those kind of things. Chicken wings. Haagen-Dazs ice cream and Reese's chocolate broken up in it. Sour Patch Kids.
Mariah Carey. My favorite vice? Sleep.
Women.
I'm addicted to energy. Lingerie shopping. I do all of it.
I have no vices at all. I don't like to lie.
Wendy's.
Vices? These shoes. Do we have to go there? I'm trying to quit, so...
No one ever wrote a song about his first hatchback. The only thing better than trucks is racing trucks. So we're the official tools of the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series. Craftsman. Make a Craftsman purchase, receive a game piece, and you could win a NASCAR Fantastic Fan Garage. Loaded with everything from a Samsung HD TV to cool Craftsman stuff.
Celebrate, celebrate.
Ask your doctor if Celebrex is right for you.
Celebrate, celebrate.
30 Love.
Everyone needs more energy. Whether you're a pro.
Great backhand.
Or just acting like one.
Nice shot. She's playing.
Start your day with Grape Nut cereal. It's energy for living.
TNN Sports coverage of the Channel Lock Challenge from the Bristol Motor Speedway is being brought to you by Mopar, parts for Chrysler, Plymouth, Dodge, and Jeep vehicles from the dealerships that sell and install them. So for night number 1 of the Channel Lock Challenge, it is all over, and that's how the finishing numbers look. See how your favorite did. Nice run tonight for Blake Feast.
Yeah, it really was. I mean, backed up a little bit, but still a good run for a young guy.
But obviously, nobody able to out. Last night, the Minot missile, Donnie Schatz, won the preliminary A-main at Bristol among all the fireworks. Fireworks that carried over from the racetrack to the pits. Controversy bubbling over between Lasowski and Swindell.
He's a little nervous here. He don't like to go this fast anyways.
That's for you, Sammy.
If he can't handle it, he needs to park it.
Well, he's going to mess with the bull. He's going to get the horn, I can tell you that.
It's night 2 from Bristol, the Matador, the Bull, all coming your way on TNN.